Hello and welcome.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, I'm Mark Tyoxin.
My name is Mark Tyoxin.
My name is Mark Tyoxin.
And this is
the Atlanta FoodMakers podcast.
Hello and welcome. My name is Mark Tyoxin and this is Atlanta FoodMakers. Hanging out with me today is Aubrey of AUBSauce. Thanks for hanging out.
Hey Mark, thanks for being here.
Awesome. Real quick, when did you begin AUBSauce?
So I started AUBSauce in November of 2018. That's when the concept and the idea started to sort of form in my head. And yep, that's when I started.
Okay, so then when would you say, or when did you get in your first retail location?
So my first retail location was Savvy Provision in January of 2019.
Which location actually?
So it was the Decatur location.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a really nice story around that. A part of my customer discovery, I went in to see the manager and I told her, I said, hey, I'm working on this a barbecue sauce and I would love if you would sample it. And so I just came in one day and did a sampling for her of the 3 flavors, and she liked it a lot. I was seriously interested in her notes,
right.
And she gave me a few notes, but when I left or was leaving, she said, I would love to carry these in the store when you're ready. And so, you know, a few months later, we were there. I had my first order.
Okay, so you went in there. Was it just at that point? Was it a scheduled meeting when you went in there the first time and talked to her about it?
No,
because you weren't ready to take the order.
I was nowhere near. At that time, we were still in research and development. I was still in the kitchen, you know, working, you know, on the recipes and things like that. And so in the middle of that is when I took it. So it was really in 2018 that she and I started the conversation.
So was it, I mean, some people, you know, they wait, all right? So obviously you weren't even ready to provide the product when you're like trying to sell them on it.
Yes.
So what was your thinking around that? Like, was it just the like, I need to do this, whatever stage I'm at, I need to see if I can get in there, I need her to taste it, I just need this action to happen, versus some people wait till everything's perfect, they want to be ready to be like, take the order, provide the order right then.
Well, first of all, when I started planning AUBSauce, I strongly believe in customer discovery. And so customer discovery is that where you're actually trying to validate that there is a customer and that customer is actually willing to spend money. So that was the retail portion of it. So I had already spoken to, you know, tons of people that we did tastings with and things of that nature. But now this was on the retail end. I wanted to know from her, the sauces that you have on the shelf, you know, how does this sauce compare? Also, I wanted to know the price level, you know, let's do some price comparisons there. And I just wanted to know what did she really think about it? Did she think that her savvy customer would be interested? And she thought so, and it's been very successful there. It is still, you know, it still sells at Savvy.
That's excellent, because that is actually one of the locations I'm trying to get into. So
I know the owner well, and I'll be happy to make an intro.
We're there. We're just figuring it out.
Okay.
But yeah, real quick, there are a couple Savvy locations. Are they each individually?
Yeah, so when I first started, it was, I think they were owned all by one person, but now they're broken up. So as of this moment, I'm in the one that's in Decatur, and then I will be in the one in Buckhead.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in a couple of months.
Great job. So sort of, you had that meeting, it was almost a pre-sale basically, and then it was a month or 2 or 3 until you actually had the finished product.
Yes.
Now, at that point, did you make it yourself and then move to a co-packer, or did you already at that point have someone else sort of producing your product for you?
So let's backtrack a little bit.
Sure.
So after the customer discovery, you know, me trying to find out if there was actually a customer for this project that I was working on, I went and did a Kickstarter.
Okay.
And so when I did the Kickstarter, the goal was to raise $5,000 to find a co-packer. I wanted to test this to see what it would look like, you know, would it actually sell? It was a part of the customer discovery. And instead, the Kickstarter was so successful, we raised the $5,000 in one day, in 24-hour time span. And then at the end of the campaign, we raised $10,000. So I was able to do just a little bit more than I was anticipating. So I found the co-packer. That's what that raise was for, was to find a co-packer. And I did find a co-packer. And it was a great experience. And she was able to take my recipes, the ones that I had been just working, you know, from the kitchen with, and she was able to take those and turn those recipes into production recipes.
That's amazing. Logistics, where is your co-packer? Like what region, city?
So right here in the Decatur area. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's amazing. I didn't even really think, I have no idea about this part. So I didn't think that was an option. So. Yes.
It was, I can't even remember how I found her. Oh, I remember. Because originally I wanted to, I thought that I was going to have to make the sauce myself.
Right.
And I went to a shared kitchen. And the more and more the person was telling me everything that I would need and all of these licenses and all of this time.
As a person who rents their own commercial kitchen, I understand. Yes.
So I was like, no, I have a day job and I'm not going to be able to do that. And she said, you know, I think you should probably look for a co-packer. And I'll be honest, I really didn't know what a co-packer was at that time.
You're telling me about it.
And so I was like, okay, that's great. And I was like, where do you find one of those? And she was like, we actually have one here. And I was like, oh, great. Made the intro and the rest is history. And we just completely gelled. She actually liked the sauce. I remember one of our first meetings, she told me that, what was the word she used? I think she said, this is different. That's what she said. I think that's the word she said. She said, this is different. And I thought different meant bad. And she was like, no.
Right.
Different is good.
Right.
She was like, barbecue sauce is barbecue sauce. She was like, I've never had anything like this before. And so this was the peach. We started with the peach sauce first. And so just from that, you know, I was like, wow, I think I really do have something unique here.
Now, just general knowledge, what sort of pricing is it? Is it like a percentage? Is it a flat rate?
So usually how a co-packer would work is depending on how much of the responsibility that they take up front, there are two different ways you can work. You can supply all of the supplies, at like the bottles, the tops, the labels, the caps, and then you can also supply all of the ingredients that she would need to make the sauce. But she was more of a one-stop shop. She did everything. And so all I paid for was by the unit. And so that was great for me.
Yeah.
You know, as I said, I work a day job and it was almost as if I was buying my sauce, you know, from a wholesaler. Yeah. But she has, you know, you go in, you sign an NDA, and that's a promise that I'm not going to share your recipe with anyone. And, you know, it was an absolute great experience. I'm glad I started that way. I'm not interested really in producing myself. I am very, you know, detailed. So there are things that I like. Okay, I want beautiful labels. I mean, my product is a high-end product. It sells in exclusive, you know, nice gourmet shops. And so I need beautiful labels. I need to make sure that the consistency is, you know, perfect all the time, you know, because a customer can tell. You know, I sell the sauce, this pineapple mango sauce is green and it should have specks of, you know, cilantro and mint in there. Yes. So you should be able to see it. And so when I get these bottles back, you know, I want to make sure that they look the same, they taste the same, they pour the same. Those are all things that are very, very important to me.
Now, so you found a co-packer. How many locations are you is it available at this moment?
So at this moment, I am in Williams-Sonoma,
Okay.
one location in Midtown.
Okay.
And so I'm in Savvy Provisions, as I said, in Decatur. I'm also in one of my favorite stores, which is Atlanta Grill Company. Atlanta Grill Company is located out in Roswell.
Okay.
And so I was at another shop. I was at Oak Grove Market doing a tasting. And so this guy comes up to me and he says, "Hey, have you ever been to Atlanta Grill Company?" And I was like, "No, I've never heard of it." And so he was like, "You really should take your sauces out there." And he sent me an email, gave me the person's name, and I went out. And dude, when I tell you, it is a heaven for anybody that loves, you know, grilling.
Yeah.
I mean, they ate entire aisle of nothing but barbecue sauces. So yeah, I love that place out there. And so I got in a little trouble with and they buy a lot of my product.
Oh wow, okay.
They buy a lot of it. And so I got in a little trouble. I didn't have enough stock at home.
Oh,
and so I've even, you know, called out and reached out to them and say, "Hey, can I please, you know, send some of my customers your way?" And they're like, "Oh, of course." So I just directed my website to their website.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I think I have did I say Lucy's Market? I'm in Lucy's Market.
That was a conversation earlier.
Yeah, I'm in Lucy's Market in Buckhead. Okay. So yeah, that's it for now.
Nice. What sort of what is your process to getting into new stores? Like, do you do all the sales, that B2B, or do you have another person, or is it just?
So I do all of my sales and marketing myself, and I start with looking around what type stores I feel that AUBSauce is a match for.
Right.
And then I reach out to the owner or the buyer, and it's usually via email. I know that buyers do not like to just, you know, for somebody to just drop in on them. So I start off with an email, and it's just an introduction of the product, you know, letting them know this is what I'm working on, you know, this is what other people are saying about it. Sometimes I will even say, you know, this is where the sauce is sold as well.
Right.
And then just try to get them interested. And
they respond to you?
Yes.
Yeah, you get a good response?
I don't send very long emails.
Okay.
They're very short, just like I was pretty much, my emails are just the way I speak, like how I'm speaking to you now. I speak to them like we're friends. You know, I'm like, "Hey, I just, you know, saw your Instagram, love your store. You know, I sell a barbecue sauce, and that I think would look great on your shelves, and I think your customers might be interested. Is it possible that I can send you some samples? Best AUBs." And that's it. I don't try to go in and give them an entire. I don't sell them that email.
Right. It's really just to get them to even respond.
And what I want them to do is, you gotta taste it first anyway. I'm sorry. I don't care. It can look a certain way and everything until your that buyer taste it, then that's when she will know that it's right for their store. And so you don't want to waste their time. It's so many.
I mean, there's so many that are even kind of different from what we think of as barbecue sauce.
Right.
So then now you're saying mine is different. We'll be like, okay, I've heard that. Right.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So absolutely. What are your flavors?
So my flavors are, of course, I have original AUBSauce, which is just, I like to think of it as that flavor that if your grandmother made it in the kitchen, that's what it tastes like. It's just good old Southern barbecue sauce, goes on everything. And then I have a fiery pineapple mango. I have a spicy peach, which is not here. The spicy peach is the best seller. And then we have a new sauce that just came out all the time. That's why it's not on the table. And then I have the strawberry balsamic and rosemary sauce, which is brand new. Two of my sauces, the peach and the strawberry balsamic rosemary, actually won Flavor of Georgia.
Nice. In what sort of contest?
So the are you not aware of the Flavor of Georgia?
No.
Oh my God! So listen,
there's so much. No, I'm just kidding. There's so much to know about everything.
Yeah, it's like anybody listening to this podcast that's interested in, if you're in the state of Georgia and you're interested in launching a product, I will tell you that you need to look up, Flavor of Georgia.
Okay.
It is a contest that is held for emerging food brands. So anybody that has a product that they're working on, they send samples to them, and the contest usually happens in around March, February. I think you send everything in February, and then March, toward the end of March, is when they actually do the actual show or the contest. And so my very first time out was with the peach sauce, and I did not win in my category, and so I was a little, like, oh, it was so fun to be here.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of the show, I won, I think it's the award, it's called People's Choice Award. Well, that was like the second award, other than winning the big deal. And I was like so shocked. People really did relate. I think my issue there was I was brand new. I didn't really know how to pitch the sauce. I just kind of went in like, oh, here's my sauce. I make it.
So there's a whole process.
It's a process.
It's not just send your stuff away and they taste it and that's it.
That's right. And and I'm gonna tell you, the second time with the strawberry sauce, I was a little more prepared, and I actually won my category. So I won the barbecue sauce category. But it's a great launching.
That feels like a great thing to be a barbecue sauce and win amongst other ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In Georgia.
Well, I was about to say, especially in Georgia, because
right?
this is where it's some stiff competition.
Absolutely. Wow, that's awesome. Now, which one was your first flavor? Was it?
The first flavor really was the peach sauce.
Okay. Now you have very distinct flavors.
Yes.
And I feel the same way about my kombucha. And we're not just like. It feels like there are many brands that just like, oh, I want to make one with this fruit and then this fruit and then this flavor, and then like they have like 30 of them, and then they kind of taste like nothing. Right. But yours are not even just one note flavors. It's a
absolutely
combination of flavors.
Yeah, especially with the strawberry, balsamic, and rosemary. It was important to me. I love rosemary, and I love rosemary on chicken, and so it was important to me that I could actually taste what's on the label. Right. There's nothing worse than, hearing, that there's strawberry in something and you're like, where's the strawberry? Or that doesn't taste like a strawberry that I've ever had before. And so the pineapple and mango, you can taste the pineapple.
I mean, I feel that way about some kombuchas out there where you look at the label and there's like 30 ingredients and you're like, I can maybe taste the vinegar and that's like the tea maybe, but like I couldn't taste any of these ingredients, and they put a ton of them in some kombuchas and you're just like, yeah, this tastes like nothing. Wow. But yeah, and the same thing with any foods, you'd be like, oh, there's all this list of favorites, and maybe you can taste one and you're like, well, why did they even, I bought it for these so absolutely. And I feel like with mine, definitely, I bet. What was the process to like some of these coming up with them and perfecting them? Because getting that balance in there, and same thing with me, because we have our newest one is a honey jalapeno lemonade. Ooh. And you can taste each of those three flavors like in the best sort of way, but getting that balance and also making it so that they stay separate but also cohesive is a trick,
Well, when I was coming up with the flavors, as I said, the peach was the first. And so we were going through the discovery, and I would make the sauce on the weekend and I would take it into my job during the week, and people would come up and say, do you have some of that sauce? And so I had these little sticks, and so they would put the stick down into the little thing and they would taste it, and I would allow them to tell me. I really wanted to know the truth. What do you think? Is it too warm? Because it was called spicy peach. And so, is it too warm? Can you taste the peach? And there would be people that would say, like, oh, I find it that it's not thick enough, or, I like for mine to burn, when this didn't burn for me, or whatever. And so I listened to all of that. But my process when I'm in the kitchen, I'm there and I'm trying to please first my palate. Right. And so for the peach sauce, I kind of thought about my grandmother's peach cobbler, and I knew her recipe, and so I made the peach cobbler, and then I added the savory to it. And the only thing that we had to iterate was mainly the heat. Okay. And then the cinnamon. There is cinnamon in that sauce. And so we had to bring the cinnamon down sometimes because you don't really want your meat to taste like you got, you know, a hunk of peach cobbler laying on it. So, but I wanted that hint just for you to say, whoa, what is that? And then I love when people ask me that. Yes.
And it starts coming out.
Yes.
You know, it's not like the strongest note, but like it's there.
Absolutely.
You know? And also, some of the experience is also, you know, there's that first initial taste, but then if it's on something you're eating, the longer you're eating it, right? Like,
absolutely.
So it's sort of like my kombucha. There's that first initial taste, but then also how's it going to taste at the end of the drink, too?
Absolutely.
You know? So all those very interesting things.
May I say this as well? The pineapple mango was probably the easiest sauce because I have a smoothie recipe that I use, and it had pineapple and mangoes in it, and so it is the smoothie recipe plus savory, and I'm done, and that's how I did it. I knew that I wanted something like very, very light, and so the pineapple mango goes well on seafood. So if you are a seafood eater, you like salmon or grilled shrimp, it's perfect, and it's just very, very light, and then you get that little heat that comes in the end. You're like, whoa, something just hit me, but you know, it's not too warm.
Yeah, well, I mean, even the types of spiciness.
Yes.
You know, because, because in doing the jalapeno and like finding the right one and also processing it right so that it turns it down just the right way, but still a strong jalapeno flavor, and then also the balances. So you got in a couple stores, and what are sort of next steps for you at this point? Because you're in a handful of stores.
Yes.
You have your production down, so you're not figuring that out.
So let's say the production is not down.
Oh, okay.
So I am in between co-packers right now. While I tell any and everybody that I think the co-packing route is the best route, it's also the most challenging route because for you, do you make your kombucha?
Yes.
Okay, so then you know there are certain things that you know you're looking for, and sometimes co-packers, you know, they may or they may not, you know, hit those notes all the time, and so finding the right co-packing partner is very, very important. I have been through I think 3 now.
Oh, okay.
And so it is
not just I found a person and I'm done.
It's a challenge.
Oh, okay.
And while my first co-packer, love her. If I saw her right now, it's big hugs and kisses, but we were not on the same page. I was creating a brand that you know I intended to scale. It was my intention that she thought I was creating a vanity brand, you know, something just to have my name on it and share with friends. And so we, for some reason, we were not, you know, parallel there. And, you know, I have had others. I won't go into those experiences, but I have found a new person. I would prefer to stay in Georgia and have, you know, the production done here. But unfortunately, I have had to go out of state. So I am working with a new guy now. We just finished our research and development. And I expect to have those, you know, first couple of runs in the next couple of weeks.
What sort of is a minimum run? What sort of range as far as like, however you want to measure it, cases or bottles or?
So that's a good question because if you are interested in working with a co-packer, you have to make sure that you can meet their minimum.
Yes, exactly.
It's not your minimum.
Right.
And so let's take my first co-packer, for example. She's the best for someone that's just starting out. You're still on the stove and you're needing to get, you know, that first, you know, 100 cases out or that first 50 cases out. That's the person. That's the one that you want to kind of do some testing with and make sure that that recipe did scale. And she was awesome at scaling because the sauce tasted just like it did when I did it in the kitchen. When I tasted her first R&D selection that she had for me, I couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't tell if I had made it or if she had made it. That's a great sign.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Okay, so I say all that to say you have to find the co-packer that is willing to work within your minimums.
Right.
Most unfortunately want you to do 100 cases of whatever, because before they turn the lights on in the kitchen, they have to make sure that they're going to make money.
Right.
And so you have to be prepared. It is an investment when you go in, but I think it's possibly the best investment.
Rent is an investment. If you're gonna do it, whether it's co-packer, you're still gonna have to find a commercial kitchen somewhere, right? So that is some amount of rent. So and then all the things associated with the commercial kitchen and licenses and having your own business, pretty much. So so you're gonna have to pay for it somewhere, whether you're making it or someone else is making it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, finding the right partnership with your manufacturing partner is just the best thing, and you want to make sure that that person can scale. If the person says that, oh yeah, I can do 20 gallons for you, that's great. It's great for your pocket and your storage room, because if they only send you 20 gallons, I think 20 gallons might be 4 or 5 cases of sauce, maybe. I think, but that's good, because now you're just starting out, and if you're selling online, that's great. But what about when you get that first order, or if you're deciding to go the grocery store route? What happens? Can that person scale that recipe, to 300, 400 gallons that you would need to make in order to supply a grocery store order or a larger, chain store. It's a... No,
there's always stuff. Like even for me, we're in about 16, 17 locations right now, but even I know that if I were to somehow get a Whole Foods contract or a Kroger contract, and all of a sudden I have to deliver a pallet.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know if I could make that right. I'd be like, that'll take a minute, right? So I'm not going for those at this point, just knowing my own production capacity.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, is knowing everybody's like, oh, yeah, I should get in Whole Foods next. But it's like, other than the whole trouble of getting in a grocery store like that, a chain, there's the part where you have to really have your stuff down.
Yes.
Because you get one chance to do that good delivery.
Absolutely.
And if you can't, then they're going to move on,
So I've been really successful with the smaller retailers, and the smaller retailers, I'll talk, more about my retailer out in Roswell, Atlanta Grill Company. I can call him and just say, Gary, I'm so sorry. I don't, if he sends me an email with an order, I don't have it right now. Also, I have another woman in town, Georgia Crafted. She'll call me first to let me know I'm about to pitch your product to someone. Are you ready? Can you make these dates? And I love that. So that's one good thing about working small, because when you're working with a small vendor like that, even though she's not small, because she might call and order 50 cases, but she wants to give me heads up a month ahead of time, I need this.
It's not even necessarily working small, but it's definitely measuring out the pace of your growth, right? Because there's always gaps, right? Whether it's you start off in your home, and then there's a big gap to getting your own kitchen or co-packer, right? There's a huge gap there, and it's you have to make that mental decision.
Yes.
But then also if you sell so much and get contracts for a grocery store, that's a huge gap. You need to know that you can produce that much, and
you have to make sure that your producer, your manufacturer can do that, and then and you want to make sure that they can also keep the same consistency. Does it taste the same when he makes it 300 gallons that it did when he made that 20 gallons? So that's really important as well.
That's just the stuff we're thinking about, making it and that stuff, but also, can you make sure you procure what you need?
Thank you.
You have bottles as well, so I know that everybody's supply chain and everything, we've heard it, but I had to. That's what forced me to sort of move up, because I was buying individual cases of 24 kombucha bottles, beer bottles. But I had to be but the price went up and shipping and everything. So I had to order a pallet all of a sudden, you know, which presented its own problems. Like, pallet is just the beer bottles. It doesn't include the boxes, the case boxes. So now I had to go find the case boxes, and those are coming from China. The beer eventually. But so it's like those sort of like growth problems.
Yes.
And, you know, obviously, if you're in it, it's kind of fun. It's fun as long as you keep solving them.
Yes.
And I've enjoyed that process.
Yes.
But yeah, that is a big thing, you know, and it's like, when you start out, you might think like, people are like, yeah, you're going to be in Whole Foods next. And I'd be like, well, actually, the things too, there's, especially in a place like Atlanta, there's so much here.
Yes.
Not Whole Foods, not Kroger, that, you know, that we can get into places that are high quality and good, and we can build those relationships. Yes. And you can also grow at your own pace.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I'm not even all over Atlanta right now, like, and partly because we also do our own distribution deliveries. So, like, we have our sort of triangle corridor area that we are okay to drive to.
Yes.
Okay. I don't want, honestly, I'm not driving out to Kennesaw, you know, so for like one store, and that, you know, it'd be like, let's get a bunch of stores there when we get there, but like, I'm not trying to drive
totally understand
when there's so much within like a 6 mile, 8 mile rate, you know, distance from my home base.
Right.
So, yeah. What do you think about, I don't know, your general branding philosophy, ideas? What do you think about that?
So I love it. I am all about what the product looks like on the shelf. And so when I worked with my designer, I told her, I said, and this is the truth, I said, go to Williams-Sonoma and I want you to look on the shelves of Williams-Sonoma and imagine AUBSauce on those shelves. And I think we just had like a brief conversation about my style. I'm very simple. I like really nice, elegant things. And I said, I don't like a lot of fuss and I don't want my face on anything. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all I said. And she came back, no. I didn't want to be, you know, the black man, you know, with the, no, that was not going to happen. And I also, I think I gave her another little analogy where I said, and imagine this is the sauce that Ina Garten or Martha Stewart would be serving in her backyard or in their backyard for, you know, their barbecue. And her first iteration was perfection. She hit it. And I was like, oh yeah, I love it. And I was like, that's it right there. And she said, no, it doesn't go like that. You're supposed to tell me, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm going to bring you 5 back more. And I'm like, well, okay, you can do that, but this is it. Like, and she did.
This is how clients are. Okay? Clients are difficult and they want changes that are ridiculous. Okay?
No, I think this is why we liked working together. I did create her a board on Pinterest of just kind of like my style. I like, you know, like really simple, elegant things. And so she saw that and she hit it out of the box the first time. She even created my brand language. And so that's why everything, the website, you know, looks the same. And any of my marketing, I will tell you a story about my photographs. Really good story. I reached out to a coworker that's a photographer, and I asked him if he would work with me. And he said, I am so busy. And he said, will you allow me to introduce you to someone? And I said, of course, you know, please. And so he made an intro. I didn't know this guy. And he said, you know, just connect with him and just let him know I sent you. And I was like, what, like, I don't know him. Like, what do we talk about? And so true enough, we had a conversation. I sent him what I was looking for, and I was not expecting what I got. His name is Ben Brinker. I have to brag about him. But we settled on a price, and I received the most beautiful photographs ever. So if you look at my website, you will see that, I mean, those photographs are beautiful. I can't imagine not like taking them down. Right. And so it was just, you know, he came prepared. I knew he had limited time. I made sure that I, you know, that I was ready with with all of my staging and, you know, food prep and everything. And we just kind of like went around. I think we did this. We shot at a friend of mine's homes, and we just kind of went around her home, and we had all of these different areas, and we just shot. Yep, he was amazing.
I mean, that makes.
So if you're doing a food product, I'm saying that you have to have good photos. If you don't have good photos, that's just not going to work.
You need at least a base set of good professional promo photos.
Absolutely.
You know? All right. So last thing, real quick.
Okay.
You just got. Was it how you're in a sort of a food company incubator?
No, so it's not a food incubator. It is it's called Start Me.
Oh, okay.
And so Start Me, I'm actually in Start Me Clarkston. Okay. And so Start Me is an incubator for anybody, you know, in the Clarkston, Decatur kind of area that's looking to start a business. This program is sponsored by Emory. It's out of Emory University, and it is really a great way of helping startup companies or people with ideas grow. I think you know that I work for an incubator here in town. I work for ATDC at Georgia Tech, and however, I chose to go to outside because ATDC is my job, and I didn't want to mix the two up. While I'm taking a class, I didn't want anybody asking me, "Hey, can you give me some parking passes?" So I do the Start Me program, and it's a great program. They have a lot of really great mentors to help. Like right now, I'm working with this guy Alex Ting, and last week we were just looking around grocery stores, just trying to do some more comparison, finding out what we thought AUBSauce would look like on the shelves.
I saw that. Actually, I saw your post where you actually put your bottles on the shelf among. Yeah, no, because I can't remember. I didn't physically do it, but when I was starting up, and I was like, I took a picture of some display cooler, and I photoshopped my bottles in there. Just to see what it looks like amongst all those other labels.
Well, I'll tell anybody, listen, the managers may get upset, but I walked in, I had my little AUBSauce bag, and I would go to the customer service desk, and I would say, "Hey, I just want you to see I brought this in, and you guys do not sell this product." And so, they would be like, "Okay, whatever." And so we went in the back, and I'm sure Alex was looking at me like, "What is he doing?" But I just immediately started to rearrange their shelves. I'm like, "Hey, I believe this is my competition right here. I want to be beside, this one." And I moved, this one over, and then we got good shots. And so that's my way of visualizing. Right. Also, if I was presenting to a buyer, let's say a buyer of Kroger, a buyer of Publix, I would say, "Do you see, here's an example of what my sauce looks like on your shelves. This is second shelf. I'm beside, right now your leading brand. They have, of course, down at the bottom their mainstays, the Heinz and so forth. But, that second shelf would be the kind of specialty sauces." And so we got those pictures. And I think you have to do that kind of guerrilla stuff every now and then. I mean, we're guerrilla marketing.
We're at this level where we can do these things and just kind of whatever we want. Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, especially for figuring it out, because nobody has written a real manual on it, and everything's changing. Everything's changed. In the last 3 years. During the pandemic, and now it's like we have the wind in our sails again. Like we can go for it now. So.
Well, you're 100% correct about things changing after the pandemic, because if you were pre-pandemic, if you were launching a food product, the first thing you would have done is try to get in the stores to do tastings. Right. And now, nobody wants to take a little cup from you.
I thought of something.
Okay.
Next step, have you been to any food demo conventions yet, or no?
I have not. I always visit and walk the show here in Atlanta. you know, down at America's Mart. That's I mean, I always do that, and that's always fun. I go into the gourmet section, and then of course you can eat all the good treats and everything like that. Not really. I would probably want to work with a distributor, and a sales rep.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm
that's a few steps down.
Yeah. Well, no. When you say a few steps down,
No, I don't mean down. I meant like ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, I enjoy the sales part and the marketing, but I do know it's coming because you know, with me trying to get in grocery stores now, that will take a lot of time and energy.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for hanging out today.
Thanks, Mark.
So much information, especially and super helpful, I think, for anybody that's in the first 2, 3, 4 years of this.
Yes.
You know, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me and allowing me to share my story.
All right. That's all.
All right, bud.